So I know that I said I would be back in a couple of hours because I honestly thought that it would only take me a couple of hours to create my first layout. But I got a little bit overwhelmed and I was just really trying to make this look right, and there was a lot of different things I really wanted to include. So right now I've been working in my bullet journal for about a week, and so far it's been going really, really well. So I figured that now would be the best time to kind of take you guys through my planning for April. Okay, so here we just have my name, and I have my email address and phone number, which I have covered up. Just in case this thing gets lost, but hopefully it won't because it's so big. We have my index here. There's just a couple things from today that I need to index later on. Again, I love the size of this particular bullet journal. I really didn't want to get the small ones because I have really, really bad handwriting. There's a lot of things I wanted to write down. So here we have my key. I just found this on a Google search, and I was originally just gonna go with the original bullet journaling key, but I like this a lot better by using these boxes, just because, I don't know, I really didn't like just making X's on the little bullet points. I like how with this one you can also mark when you start a task or when you're starting to work on something. I really don't work between task started and task complete. I needed some kind of in between. So X's are, for me, are being reserved for when something is canceled. So I'll strike an X into the box and also strike out the word. And so my task is completed. Instead of using an X, I'm just filling in the box. Traditional, migrated, scheduled. I'm using an exclamation point as important or urgent instead of a star. An exclamation point just seems a bit more important to me than a star, so I'm just more likely to look at it. And the other thing I really liked about this key that I found is that there's also a legend for buy, email, call, or idea. So if I need to go to the grocery store or something, I can just remember, you know, bring my purse or bring a coupon or whatever. Email, call, or idea. Yeah, just getting down to some more specific tasks. I really liked that. So. And here's my year at a glance. It didn't turn out as nice and pretty as I would have liked. I know that my months are a little bit all over the place, but I have a lot of room for April and May because I know I have a lot of events coming up. Like April, of course, is Easter, and I have a birthday party coming up, and I also have a 5K coming up. May is also another busy month for like Memorial Day, and I have a wedding to go to. I have a couple of days off of work. The summertime really isn't a whole lot of important dates for me. I mean, the occasional party and that kind of thing, but this year I don't have a lot of like grad parties or anything like that going on. So I figure that if I end up needing more space, because June is starting to run low on space, then I'll just move it down here and I'll just keep the color code so I still know it belongs to June. October, November, December, I gave them all a lot of room just because October is my birthday month and it's Halloween and I have parties and birthday stuff and all that going on, so I figured it was best to leave more room for that. I'm also trying to plan a trip to Minnesota. November, Thanksgiving, time off of work, Christmas shopping, things like that, so I also figured it needs more room. And December with Christmas parties, and everything like that, again, just needed some more room. I mean, I don't even know if I'll be using this particular journal throughout the entire year. I might run out of space before I need to migrate to a new one, but we'll see. I just wanted to put the entire year on there anyway, just in case. So, okay, so here I have my savings tracker. I have a goal right now to save $10,000, and here I just have a little line progressing from the start of this year. The thing I'm really liking to do with my trackers right now is to kind of start with where I've been so I see like how far I've come. So yeah, I mean, it's just a nice way just to look back and see, okay, well, you started from here and now you're here, and so it just encourages me just to keep going with my savings. I could see how close I'm getting to my goal. I don't remember what I was going to have here, but I covered it with a coloring page because I ended up making a mistake on it. I have a really nice Star Wars coloring book, so I have this cute little Star Wars themed mandala. This is another mistake page. I have another coloring book that's like Celtic themed, and I have this really pretty angel page, so that I thought this worked really nicely. So here's my debt tracker. The way I have it right now is that all these little blocks represent $200, and the red is my student loan, the blue is my car loan. If it's blank, it means it hasn't been paid yet. Again, I'm just like to see where I've been. So this is where my student loan started at. This is where my car loan started at. So that way I can see how much I've paid off and how much further I need to go. They're blacked out at the bottom because my car loan doesn't kick in until like down here, because my car loan was around $9,000. And yeah, so I clearly have a long way to go with my student loan, but my car loan is slowly but surely going away. So this is just, again, a way for me to keep encouraging myself to put as much of my funds as possible towards my debts and make sure that they're paid off quickly. So, and here I have a little things that make me happy page. I've started working in it a bit. Just a couple little things that I find that really help me get into a better mood if I'm in a bad mood. So grocery shopping is one of my favorite activities. Scented candles, cuddling, Dunkin' Donuts, afternoon tea, football, and that's just all I have so far. I'm gonna keep adding to that for the month. Then here's my cover page for April. What I was originally planning on doing was kind of making it more like an art journal kind of thing, where I use like paint and gesso and everything, but I was just working for a really long time on this initial setup. So I just decided to take a scrap of paper that I was going to use for art journaling anyway, and then just kind of use it as a cover page, and it works out quite well. So here's my first like little monthly spread here. I'm taking a lot of my ideas from BoHoBerry. She has been my go-to inspiration for bullet journaling thus far. And I really liked her idea of, instead of using the April log as more of like events and appointments, it's kind of like a little like one sentence blurb about how your day was. So it's just a fun little way of journaling. And then over here, I still just wasn't sure how I was going to plan on other things in the month of April. So I decided to write out a couple of big events that I have coming up. So I'm doing the Race to Wrigley at the end of the month, and this is just counting down how many days I have left to train. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So just barely a little over 3 weeks left to train. And I also have my 2017 spring cleaning list on here. I just really want to do a really nice deep clean of the house, and I have a couple of chores already that I have completed and a couple that I have scheduled for this weekend. Okay, so now we have a couple more trackers. We have the tried and true habit tracker, which I'm really enjoying doing so far. I don't really get too much of the nitty-gritty details of it right now, but I really love how this is a great positive reinforcement tool just for like certain tasks and certain habits that I really should have been getting into in the first place. It also kind of helps me see where I'm lacking in certain aspects. So like my drawing and sketching habit, I'm kind of lacking there. I'm lacking in some social media stuff. So it helps me kind of see where I need to put more effort into things, and just like for little things like making my bed, just to kind of see that I'm able to consistently do these small positive habits and small positive tasks every day. So this has been really helpful for me thus far. Okay, so this is getting a little personal. So this is an anxiety tracker. I have found that in the past couple of years, I've started experiencing a lot of symptoms of anxiety, and I'm really just trying to find ways to get it under control and just kind of figure out ways to deal with it in a healthy way. And so I thought that a tracker would be a great way to do it. So how I have it set up is I have my day on a scale of 1 to 9. And the numbers represent specific symptoms. So like less than 1 being symptom free, and then 9 being like a full-blown panic attack. And along with that, I also have resolutions. So if it's less than 1, it means no resolution needed, symptom-free day, and all that good stuff. 1 means I had a moment, but I got back to my normal tasks. A 3 is I felt somewhat better, but not quite. Still had some difficulty getting back to my day. And a 9 mean that the day is completely ruined. So thus far, I've only had a couple of relatively minor moments, and when I have one, I just kind of write a little note of like what happened, so I can kind of see if anything is setting me off. So that's been very helpful. I also have a gratitude log again, so take it from BoHoBerry. I'm just trying to write a little something every day. So the first day I wrote that I was grateful for coffee, of course, my cheap gym membership, having a grocery store next door to the gym, and just a couple other things. So this page is kind of like a makeup page. This is just stuff that I really should have put in my monthly spread, but I didn't realize it until later, but I just wanted to get it in anyway. So here's some important dates, important tasks, and I also have this April journaling prompt that I found on Pinterest. Basically what it is just very simple little prompts, just asking questions about yourself, kind of helping you get to know yourself a little bit better. And so the one thing that I really like about bullet journaling so far is that it doesn't have any of the pressures of either traditional journaling or art journaling. Because when I tried my just traditional journaling, I would try to write like a novel every day, and it was just way too much pressure I was putting on myself. But just with these little prompts, you just need to answer the question, and it's still a journal, and it's still documenting something that happened that day. So I'm really liking just these little journal prompts. And so here's my weekly spread, and right now it's still a bit of an experiment. I think for next week I'm going to put in a column for work, because I originally wanted to keep this entirely separate from work, but then once I tried using it at work for a day, it just honestly made me so much more productive. So I think for next month I'm going to put in some kind of thing in here that has like a work column in there as well. So right now I have it set to bills, appointments, and errands, YouTube and social media, and projects. I also have upcoming dates. I wrote a budget square, but I didn't really use it because it was like right in the middle of the week when I actually drew this out. And so I also have a little grocery list, and I also have a little workout log as well. I try to work out 5 or 6 days a week, and I just have like a list of the workouts that I try to do. So I'm trying to run 3 days a week, train legs twice a week, train back and biceps, and chest and triceps each once a week, and train shoulders twice a week. So I just kind of see like where my weekly workouts are going. And then just a little grocery list here as well. I just need a couple of things this week. And now we're getting to my daily spreads again. Much of it has been inspired by Boho. I absolutely loved her little weather icons and the temperature, because sometimes there's days where I just kind of assume that the weather's going to be a certain way, so I go out completely dressed wrong. So like there's been days where I think it's going to be really, really warm out, and I go outside in a dress or something, and it ends up raining or something like that. So this is just a nice way for me to keep track of the weather for the next day. And so here's why I started using just the traditional bullet journaling key. I just found that I really didn't like it. And then here we just have my day using the key that I prefer to use now. So we got dailies for April 5th, April 6th, and I have a more, I guess, traditional journal entry in here. And again, I really love how low pressure this bullet journal is. And I'm going off of Boho because I've seen her do this as well, where like if there's something important that she wants to document or something important that she wants to journal about, she'll just write it in her daily. And I really, really like that. So I have the journaling prompts that allows me to create a sentence or two, but then it's like I also have this option to really go into detail about what happened during the day. So I really like that. April 6th, and I found this really nice quote on Humans of New York. He was talking to a young lady who was having trouble like expressing her art and expressing her creativity. And something that she said at the end of her interview was, instead of letting your anxiety keep you from doing your art, let it be the thing that motivates your art. And that just really spoke to me. So I decided that I should write it down. And then I have one little idea so far that I really want to start blogging again, and I will probably get into that in another video in the future. And so here I'm calling it a moving on up page. My boyfriend and I were just recently discussing our options for moving out in the future, and I just wanted to keep a log of that. I didn't originally use a full calendar at the beginning of April, and I kind of realized halfway through my weekly that I really should have. So I just drew it out here so I can just see all the important dates. April 6th, April 7th. A lot of tasks got canceled yesterday because I had a little medical issue that I needed to take care of right away, and so I ended up having to miss work. So basically all my work tasks got scratched out. And the nice thing about this, again, is that, you know, it lets you move things ahead. So there's a few tasks I wanted to get done at work that day, and so I just mark it that I just need to move them ahead to next week, and it's totally fine. And I just wrote a little journal entry just documenting what happened to me. Everything's okay, everything's fine. but I just wanted to document that anyway. And ironically enough, the journal prompt for yesterday was, how are you feeling today? So, okay, so now today is April 8th, and I've already gotten a couple of little tasks done. And I'm even writing down just like little like self-care tasks as well. So I knew it was gonna be a nice day today. So I wrote on my list of tasks that I was going to walk to Dunkin' Donuts to get some coffee and a bagel, and I did, so I just marked that down. And I have some spring cleaning tasks I need to do. I'm filming this right now, so I can actually, I'll just go ahead and scratch that off the list. I don't have my marker with me, so I guess a pen will do. There's just something just so satisfying about being able to scratch it out like that. And this is just a couple of notes that I took from a phone call that I have from one of my friends. And this is the most current page I'm working on right now. I'm considering completely rebranding myself, like just in terms of like my online presence. Because currently right now I just have it kind of set to Erin.B.OHagan Art and Design. But the more I thought about it, I'm not like a professional designer. I mean, I used to be, but at this point I'm just sharing my creative thoughts with the world. There's really no one specific thing that I enjoy doing right now. So I'm thinking about rebranding myself to, instead of Erin.B.OHagan or Erin.B.OHagan Art and Design, it will be Live, Learn, and Create, which is based on my mantra of living, learning, and creating by any means necessary. So it kind of envelopes all of my thoughts into one kind of brand, because there's a lot of different things that I want to do that all fall under this mantra, and I just want to be able to share these things with you guys. So yeah, so far so good with my bullet journaling. I haven't really been using my Erin Condren planner at all this week. I was going to use that mostly for work, but then again, I've been incorporating my work tasks into this one more and more. And I'm really liking bullet journaling so far. I love how low pressure it is. There's no like pressure on yourself to like make things super fancy. I mean, you can if you want to, but as you can tell, my handwriting is horrible. And it's not like art journaling where you have to like pull out all of these supplies and, you know, spend at least an hour working on it. Like, I know that the initial setup obviously takes some time, but at the end of that, then like you just kind of have to spend a few minutes with it every day, just planning out your next day. If there's just thoughts that you want to write down, you can just go ahead and write them down somewhere. I mean, the thing I love about this so much is that it's really up to you. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is just I'm keeping some notes in the back of just like additional pages that I want to create. I'm thinking about doing a movie, shows, and books page. I'm also thinking about doing some other little mental health pages. And I also want to create a page for my YouTube content as well, just kind of track it. And this big yellow one is just some notes for May so that I can remember what was working for me for this month and what wasn't working for me. So I can either carry things over or I can do some steps to fix things. So right now the big problem that I'm having is just like not double spacing and thinking that I don't have as much room as I actually have. So just for next month, I'm just gonna make sure to double space, use 2x2 blocks instead of 1x1, especially for my trackers and things like that. And yeah, this is just a nice way just to keep it in one spot. So by the time I go to planning the month of May, I have all my notes written here, so. Okay, so I think that just about wraps up my very first bullet journaling video. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I'm just having a lot of fun bullet journaling. I think it's this perfect happy medium for me between traditional journaling, art journaling, and planning. It's kind of all my favorite parts about all three of those melded into one. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another planning video probably in another week or two, just to kind of check in and see how I am doing with this. And I will probably do another full-blown plan with me video for the month of May. So if you guys want to see those when those come out, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know if you guys would like me to keep making these. So until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!